am I the source or journalist? I picked source. So
Okay. Yeah. You're actually right. That's how Quora and Arrow works. And creating a profile on Quora would help you to also help you to build your profile as a professional copywriter, or if it is graphics designer you want to focus on, or you want to focus on website design. You can just answer questions related to the industry or the niche you choose on Quora, and then gradually you are building your profile. So even if someone goes online and they for instance they check people that are graphics designers, or they google your name, your Quora articles or the questions you've answered on Quora and Arrow will come up, and then they will know that, okay, Sister Kwe is an expert in this field. So that's the essence of Quora, Arrow, and Medium. It is also to help you to build your portfolio. um there will be times when you'll be, let's say, okay, maybe you've most jobs that you get will be project based or contract based, and then if you're lucky you get a full-time job. But in times when, in the middle of those times when you're waiting to get a job, rather than just sitting down and doing nothing, you can build your content on Quora, Arrow, and Medium. That's if you don't have your own personal blog. Even with your personal blog, you can still build your brand image by using these platforms. So that is why I said we should register on it. So let's go to the thing we have for class today. And since you are the only one, I think we'll be able to cover the whole everything. It will be faster. So yesterday we saw the basics of content marketing. We discussed the types of content marketing. And today I would like to go deeper into what you should consider when creating content. I mentioned yesterday that the content that you create should align with the intent, that is the intent of the business and the consumer. Why are they searching for that content? If you go online now and you want to search for baby diapers, or you want to search for the foods I can give my baby when I want to win him, what kind of food should I give my baby? You know, your intent for searching that is you are looking for information and you want to be educated on that topic. So whoever is going to write that kind of content should not write it in a way as if they should write it in a way to inform you. So they should, in their writing, they will have something like uh, the month, when should you win your baby, the food you should give your baby when you win him, the type of food that you should not give your baby. That is what will be there, and they will talk from the perspective of a mother. You understand? So that is intent. Now, the goals. I mentioned this yesterday as well, that the goals of the company or the client you're writing for, or the brand, it can be to promote, it can be for brand awareness, it can be because they want to sell something, it can be because they just want to pass information. So there are different goals, and your content should also follow these goals. It's been now, some people, if you check blogs, there are blogs that have written over 1,000 blog articles. There are companies that on their website they have over 5,000 articles that they've written. Now, all of these 5,000 articles should have the same aim and objective, and that should be to achieve the goals of the company. So you may write a article. Um, Let me show Blue Cat as well now. I'll always show Blue Cat. Let me show Blue Cat. Now, look at website, for instance. Now, like I said, look at those order management. Now, if you notice, let me show you the example of my own articles. Okay, so we're already getting to where wrote. Okay, yes. This ice cream. Let me show you ice cream. Now, when I wrote this ice cream article, yes, let me see the first one that I wrote. Yes, I wrote out. This is what I started with. I started with how to start an ice cream business. Now, this article was targeting people that are in the ice cream industry, restaurants or businesses that sell ice cream. And so I started with how to start an ice cream business. In that same at on the same blog, I wrote startup cost for ice cream shop. This is there are different topics, but they are targeting the same kind of audience, people that are looking for that are in the ice cream business industry. Now, after that, I wrote 11 unique ice cream business ideas. Then I went to how to find best wholesale ice cream distributors. Then I went to 11 types of ice cream wholesale, how to buy ice cream wholesale, how to start an ice cream truck business, selling ice cream online, how to promote ice cream business. Now, the essence of all of these things, I'm trying to explain that the intent and the goals. Now, the essence of all of these things is to get the people that are reading this ice cream content to use Blue Cat software for their ice cream business. So when I'm writing these articles, I have it at the back of my mind that Blue Cat wants to sell their order management software. That is what they want to sell. They want ice cream business owners to buy their ice cream software. Now, I will try to in that guys, I'll try to establish Blue Cat as an authority in the ice cream industry that they know about ice cream business. You want to use order management software that will help your ice cream business. Blue Cat can help you to do it. So that is why there are different articles so no matter what an ice cream business owner searches online, it will bring up Blue Cat's content. So let's see an example of what I said now. So let's say I search for um, how to start an ice cream business. I search for how to start an ice cream business. It will bring Blue Cat article. This is Blue Cat article. Now I now search for ice cream business, let's say cost. It will bring out Blue Cat article again. This one is even on number one. Startup cost for ice cream shop. And now look for another thing that okay, ice cream business distributors. Now it also brought out Blue Cat article. Now in my head, because I've been seeing Blue Cat, I read how to start I googled how to start an ice cream business. I saw Blue Cat. I googled startup cost for ice cream. I saw Blue Cat. I googled wholesale ice cream distributors because okay, if I'm starting an ice cream business, I'll definitely need wholesale distributors. I also saw Blue Cat. That means the writer has and Blue Cat, the company, they have done a lot of job to try to achieve their goals of promoting their software. So a as a audience or as a customer, I'll look at it and say, okay, I think Blue Cat knows what they are doing, and then I'll click and maybe I'll buy their product. Maybe I'll buy their product. So that is goals. And then the last thing you should also look at is the audience. I established this yesterday that there are different type of audience, and the way you write should align with the audience you are writing for. So let's look at an example. Imagine you write blog content for a company that sells mobile phones. The way you write the content for this company will be different from the way you write for a mobile phone distribution company. So we know Slots. Slots is a company that sells phone all over Nigeria. They sell different type of phones. Now, the way you write for Slots is different from the way you write for Techno. Techno is a phone manufacturing company. You can't write the same way at all. Why is this? Why do you think this is? That's a question mark.
You asked about the way I'm going to write content for slots will be
For
different from
slots, and then the way you write for techno.
tech.
Why should it be different?
Ah, I think slot is a place where they sells phone and techno is a product on its own. So I think for my own knowledge oh, I think the way you are going to is just like promoting a product for techno, then maybe creating awareness for slots for people to buy it so that their business can increase or improve, people buying it or something. Do I get the question?
Okay, let me ask again. Okay, so slot is a company that sells directly to customers. Customers come directly to them. You enter their shop, you see the phones on display. But Techno is a company that is a top. I think it's based in China now, or Japan, or Korea. I don't know. It's one of the Asian countries that is based in, and they design and make products. Meaning they don't sell directly to customers. Fine, they have phone stores but their target will be wholesalers, people that will come and buy their phones in bulk. So the question the reason I asked that question is to see if you understand intent, goals and audience. The intent
Okay.
of slots is to promote their products to customers, direct customers. So their audience is D2C. They are selling directly to customers. But Tecno is selling both to customers and businesses, but majorly to other businesses. It's Tecno that will sell to slots, that slot will not sell to customers. Slot is like the middleman between Tecno and customers. So the kind of content that slots will be creating will be, if slot has a website, let's see if they have a website and look at the kind of content they are creating. Slot Nigeria. So this slot website. So I don't think slot has a blog, but let's see. Their website is not even fine. So what slot is doing basically is you see that they are highlighting different kind of phones. So they are showing their products one on one. So if you click on this one, for instance, now they will have product descriptions. This is product descriptions. They will have the description of the products, but and then they have reviews. They have more information. But if Slot is a company in the US, what that US company would do is they would have, okay, let me show you mobile gadgets. Okay, let's see this one. It's a gadget store and it is not based in Nigeria, so it's also based in Nigeria. Hmm? Okay, let's try this one. This is the last one. If they don't have, then
All those phone stuff, the phone doesn't just do have phones.
okay, this one has a blog.
Okay.
Gorilla. Yes. This is what I'm trying to explain now. Now you can see that what they have basically on their blog is choosing the best phone charger. And when you read this you see that they'll list the type of phone chargers they are selling. They will explain that, okay, this, you can see that they have links. Okay, someone else wants to join. Sashay, welcome now.
So when did you buy?
I can't even see her again. Anyway, so they'll list, um they will write reviews of their products and then make people want to say, okay, how can I choose the best charger? And then, you know, they'll write the type of chargers that are available, the accessories, and then they'll put links for you to buy. They will now add something that will make you say, okay, I can buy from them. Now, this is what I mean now. If you're on the hunt for the best phone charging cable, Gorilla Gadgets is your ultimate destination. This is what I mean. So that is what slots, if slot had a blog, that is what slot would do. But in the case of techno, excuse me, in the case of techno is a company. So if techno is going to write about um their 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 products, the way they'll write it is in a totally different way. Let me see if okay. You see, they also have, I don't think this is their blog, but they have a news session. Because techno, they'll focus their marketing efforts or their content efforts on targeting other businesses that will come and buy from them directly in bulk. So you can see that what they have on their content is more of techno unveils universal tone, a multi-skin tone imaging technology. So they'll be writing about their new products that will get distributors to come and buy from them, or that will entice customers to say, oh wow, Techno has a new feature now. This is another one. Techno launches 3 pioneering technologies. Techno Camon 20, Premier 5G. So they are not writing directly to customers. You can see that you are not seeing articles like how to choose wireless charging pad. It is not here. You cannot even see it. You cannot see articles like top 10 camera smartphones. You can't see it here. So that means when Techno was creating their when they are creating their content, they have already factored in the intent and their goals and then their audience. You understand? So that is why I said it is not the same way you write for a company that is selling mobile phones that you write for a company that produces mobile phones. Do you understand? So now, I've answered the question here. I said the company selling mobile phones like Slot is selling directly to consumers. So they will need D2C or B2C kind of content mostly. And that's why I said content like product descriptions, blog content with topics like top 10 features of the new iPhone 25, why we love Samsung 150X, where to buy the new Techno Camon 200. Then they also have infographics showing the price and features of the mobile phones. I'm sure that Slot will have that one, even if they don't have blog. I'm sure they will have a
Top success.
poster
Top
with
success.
their
Top
price.
success. Top success. Check.
Okay. Then I should check top
Top success.
success.
I see my girlfriend. I think they have a website.
Okay, top success phones. Let me check their images to see if they have infographics. Okay, basically, I'm not seeing any infographics like that on top success. But um, it's a Nigerian brand. Most Nigerian brands don't really understand
Marketing, digital
the
marketing.
digital marketing space like that. So let's just I'm teaching us for the
Foreign
foreign
markets.
brand, foreign market. So this is what is attainable in the foreign market.
you last last.
Hello. I'm so
So,
sorry. I don't know what happened. I think it was saying server error.
okay.
So let's continue. So they also create video content. I'm sure you'd have seen some of these people on Instagram or on YouTube that will hold phone and then they'll review the
Yeah,
phone, whether it's a Techno
big
phone
and
or a
big.
Samsung phone. Is that they'll talk about the features of the phone and all of that. They, you also see contents like graphics design showing the phone, and then some may even decide to have animation explaining the features of the phone. All of these are D2C or B2C kind of content that are targeting audience that are targeting consumers directly. So, question. Yesterday I talked about lead magnets, and if we remember, I said lead magnets are things that company use to bring um their customers back, or something that they will give customers for free in exchange for something, for their emails or their contact, or just to build customer loyalty. So in this case, what do you think slot will use as a lead magnet for their customers? We all buy phones now, so as a customer, what do you think slot can use? Is it an ebook? Is it an infographic? Is it newsletter? What do you think? Stashay, what do you think Stashay has done again?
I think they will use infographics in terms of showing pictures, and then I think the newsletter too will be included in terms of showing the
Okay. Yeah.
features in the in buying the phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They will show the features. They can also create a checklist of how to care for the phone. They can send infographics like you said. They can send camera and video acts. Like, people, if they notice that the reasons most people buy it is because of the camera, they can send a small video of how to use their camera features very well. You understand? Now, the reason I'm asking all of these questions is because there are sometimes that in interview, or the way people, recruiters or companies, the way they do their interview now is they will ask series of questions. They can tell you to do a video of yourself, and they'll give you some questions that you will answer, and you will do the video and you send it to them, and that is part of the recruitment process. And they can ask questions like this, that okay, um um can you give us an extra, something that we can do for our marketing to increase our leads, or something that will increase our sales conversion, that will help us make more sales or get more customers to come. Or they can say, can you give us examples of strategies that we can include in our content marketing efforts that will help us to increase customer retention and customer loyalty? Now, what they are basically asking you is lead magnets. You
Okay.
understand? So that's why I added that question to it. So it will take you to think on your feet, like think fast. Put yourself in the position of the customer. What do you think will bring you back to a phone company after you have bought their phone, that will make you still remain loyal to that company? Something like this. If they are sending checklists, they are sending video acts, they are sending camera acts, that okay, if you want to, okay, you are having troubleshooting problem, okay, this is what you should do if your phone is hanging. This, if that phone spoil, you want to go back to that company to buy another phone, because you be like, company yẹn da gan, ọ̀tọ̀ nígbà tí máa ní problem lórí phone mi báyìí, wọ́n máa ń send mail ni. So that's one way to answer the question. So
Okay.
um I'm going to give us this one as an assignment. Lead the company distributing mobile phones, like Techno, for instance. You can look for another company. Okay, let's keep it to mobile phones. But or a company designing dresses now. tó ń ṣe aṣọ, or a company that produces juice. A company that produces juice. Let's use juice. Um, what type of content will they create? Are they going to be creating product descriptions? Their blog content with topics, it should be like, um what type of topics will they create on their blog? Will they create infographics? And if they create infographics, what will the infographics show? um Video content, what kind of video content will they produce, and what type of lead magnets will that company use to target customers? So that is the question. It's just something to help us to think of content strategies. So let's get that. You can do that in your free time, but today is Friday, so you can submit it. You can submit it on Monday. Yes. Okay. So Chinedu is saying I should change it from products company to maybe a service company. So let's use a cybersecurity company for instance. Cybersecurity is very common. So a company that does cybersecurity, cyber security, what what content strategies will they adopt? They have a B2B audience too. So that's one export. So what content strategies will they, I can let me I'll save this frame as an image and then I'll send this to you so you know that it is your assignment. Okay, so now let's go to what is content writing, and hopefully we can finish this class soon. We have just like 5 more slides and then. So what is content writing? Content writing is the process of planning, creating and editing content for various purposes. And the primary function of content writing is to engage and inform a specific audience. There is an audience. So the keywords here is planning, creating, editing. Purpose is a keyword. Engage and inform is a keyword. And specific audience is also a keyword. When writing content, you don't just jump into it and then you just start writing. No, you need to plan. Okay, what do I want to write about? There's the process of researching. Everybody has, at least I think most of us here have, we've gone to school, so we've done this thing, we've done projects, we've done research articles, we've written assignments for lecturers and all of that. So we understand, everybody knows what writing is. We know what researching is, especially if it is not that we did copy and paste in school. So we know what researching is. So content writing is it starts like that. It starts with researching. You research the content. Okay, what is the topic? And then you need to understand that the content you write has to be relevant to the industry you are writing for. You cannot be writing for an event planning company now and be looking for topics like why you should buy this phone. It is not relevant. That topic is not relevant to your company. Now, if your event planning company is a company that they do events management in Nigeria, that is their event management in Nigeria. You know, topics like where to decoration tips for your event hall is a good topic, or 15 things you need to do before your wedding is a good topic. Topics, because yeah, it is in the scope of the company. Now, if the company is now extra specific and the event that they manage is just weddings, they just do weddings, they don't do birthdays, they don't do funerals, they don't do any other thing, they just do weddings. Creating content like uh choosing how to choose colors for your burial party, it is irrelevant to that company. It is irrelevant. So that is why I said it serves different purpose, and it is to inform a specific audience. When writing content, you need to look at your audience, you need to look at the purpose of the content. I've already explained the purpose of writing content. I've explained purpose, we know. So that is content writing. When we get to the practical part, you will see it in action more. So what is the importance of content? The reason anybody would hire you as a content writer is because they want engagement, meaning content can help them capture and connect with their ideal audience. They want brand building. Content can help them establish their identity and recognition. It can help them establish their identity. Look at again for example now. You know, because Blue Cat have been writing content, I showed you an example of the ice cream something. Even if Blue Cat has not worked with an ice cream company before I started writing that content, Blue Cat has not worked with ice cream companies before. But because been writing content of ice cream distributor, how to start ice cream business, how to shake back, and anytime the ice cream seller, someone that wants to start ice cream business, click ice cream, be type ice cream on Google, Blue Cat comes up. You know, it is helping Blue Cat to establish and build their brand in that niche. Now, SEO. SEO means search engine optimization. It's a topic on its own. We're still going to be taking that as well. And it's a very important part of content writing. If as I the way I wrote um ice cream wholesale distributors online, you know, there are thousands of companies that has already written ice cream shop startup list. This one have written it, this one have written this one, a lot. If we check, okay, yeah, you can see the amount of people that have written content here. Oh, Google used to show how many people have written content coming. They used to show it before, so I'm not seeing it here. I think the way I set my this thing. But normally they'll write the amount of results that are available. They can write 15,000, they can write 1 million search results. So meaning about 1 million people have written that same topic, ice cream business cost. So what did I do that made it that when they search it though, it is Blue Cat's own that came first. That is what is called SEO. SEO is what makes it possible for you to write content on a website or for a company, and then it will show on Google search engine. Most companies will hire you to get their content in the first three positions. This is number one position, this is number two, this is number three, or even on the first page. This is where the first page ends. They want their content to be on this first page. That is why they will hire you. Whether you are a website designer, or you are a copywriter, or you are a content marketer, or a digital marketer, or a social media marketer, they want their content to be on this first page. So if you can successfully get their content here, they will pay you big money. The average amount of money that an SEO expert makes in the US is around, depending on his seniority level or the person's experience. The person can make up to 12,000 to $13,000 per month. Person can make up to $14,000 per month, depending on how senior the person is in the industry. So SEO is a big deal. It's a very big deal in writing, in digital marketing. So, but when we get to that topic, we are going to look at the basics of SEO. We look at keyword research. We look at all of those things. Now, another importance of content is education. Content would inform and guide the audience of your company. Then there's lead generation. I've talked about lead magnets. I've talked about email marketing. So lead generation, it's content can help them your company to attract and nurture potential customers. It can also build trust and credibility and foster loyalty. So if for instance now there is there is a company I work with in 2022. The company is based in Malta. Malta, where is Malta? Sef? I don't know where Malta is. So it is based in Malta, and when they hired me, they had a lot of negative reviews online, and they wanted me to help them to bring down those negative reviews with content. So I proposed that we created content that would increase their. Let me show you. I don't know if it is still there, but let's see. So this is the name of the company, BD Electronics. BD Electronics. Before I joined, yeah, this blacklisting. It used to be BD Electronics is bad. BD Electronics, and they had a lot of bad in this related search thing. Meaning, if I was a customer and I wanted to find out whether BD Electronics, because what they do is they supply electronic equipment, and they will send quotes to people that are looking, people that create helicopters, aeroplanes, this military grade def- um um what's the name of this thing now? Machineries. People that make cars, Volkswagen, BMW. So they supply them with electronic components to to build their machines. So that is what BD does. So most times it is that they send quotes to these companies, and then they talk to them that they can supply them. They have the right this thing, they have the right connection to get them the supplies they need. So as maybe I'm a Volkswagen sales coordinator, or I'm an outreach person now, and then they've sent me their quotes. The first thing I'll do is I'll first come and check BD Electronics online. Now, because of all of the bad things that they used to do, blacklist, bad reviews, all of these things here before it was bad, like negative reviews. People also ask, they'll be like, is BD a real company? Why is BD bad? So they employed me to help them to get some of those reviews out. And so I what I proposed was that they created more content to change the narrative. So that's why I said content is important, because it helps you to build trust and credibility for your um for your client. And then content also has social media impact. It can enhance visibility and engagement on social media. And that is where you see some companies have 1 million views. You see 1 million followers on social media. You see they have 50,000. Some people don't even do so much on their blog. They focus that's why you see Jumia now and Slot. I'm sure Slot focuses more on social media rather than blog. That's why when we check Slot's website, you see that they don't have a blog. They focus more on social media. And so that means whatever content they are producing is for their social media pages. So another thing that content does is it increases relation it helps relationship management. You can maintain ongoing customer communication with content. That is what we saw with in Techno on Techno's website. You see that they had news, they were talking about one new product, they were talking about skin something software and all of that. So that's another thing content does. So they can a company can hire you to write press releases for them, and when you create press release, you would talk about what the company is doing. You can send emails to customers. I recently received an email from Paga. Yes, I think yesterday. And they were telling me that they are sorry for the downtime, that they had some minor issues in their server and everything. You know, that is content. So that if I'm a customer of Paga now, and then I want to use my Paga app, and then I see that there's problem, I'll not go to social media and say, Paga has run away with my money. Oh." I won't say that because of content. Then content is has adaptability. There are various formats. It has various formats that caters to diverse preferences and diverse audience. There are some people that prefer going to YouTube to learn how to cook. They prefer that let them see it like this rather than reading it on a blog. There are some people that prefer to read it than viewing it on YouTube. There are some people that prefers listening to it because they don't have the time to view or read. So they prefer podcast. So that is another importance of content. It is diverse. And then finally, um, content can set a brand apart, attracting a loyal customer base. I showed that in Blue Cat as well. So because if a company can successfully build their own style of writing, when carbon is one brand in Nigeria. When they started, I think they've rebranded. I don't know what their name is now. When Carbon started, Carbon used to send me these email newsletters. I think the name of the newsletter, then the person that used to send it was Efe from Carbon. Most times I used to wait for Efe's newsletter every morning, or I think he sent it every Friday or something. And I enjoyed the newsletter. I enjoyed reading it on my mail every Friday because it was interesting. The way the person wrote the newsletter, the tone of voice, you would be able to relate to what he was saying. And most times it was just gist that he will write in the newsletter, company newsletter, and it made sense. So most times I'm always waiting. But then I was still in school, so I did not have plenty money like that. So I did not really use Carbon. I didn't use their software. But later, I think after school, I don't know if I'm still, I don't know what their name is now because they changed Efe. I think they fired him or something. So it was not the one sending the newsletter again. And I did not enjoy the person that was sending it. So I unsubscribed. So that's the essence of that's I'm trying to say it sets a brand apart. Content can make a brand sound like the best, depending on the style and the tone that they have grown or that they have built over time. So, basics of content writing. I've mentioned audience, um, purpose and intent, and then SEO. Now, audience, I've told you that there's B2B audience, there's B2C audience, there's C2C, and then there's D2C. Then demographics. Demographics means the age, location, and the gender. The age of the person, the way you write for a Gen Z audience is different from the way you write for uh, millennials. Is different from the way you write for boomers. Gen Z is all these nonsense children of nowadays now. They are no nonsense anyway. But the way they write, the way they are not ready to read so much articles. They are not ready to sit down and read for long. They prefer something that is fast. So if you are writing for a Gen Z audience and then you are writing 5,000 words article for them, they won't read it. So if the company, for instance, is a um it's a, let's say, clothing company, or what can I use to explain Gen Z? What do they use these days sef? Maybe a skincare company, and they sell um lipstick, and their target audience is Gen Zs. The way you write the content for them is you most likely show more videos of people using the lipstick. You show more. They don't care about what is inside. I don't think Gen Zs are really, they I don't know if they are just a fast kind of audience basically. But millennials are people that are born within I think 1992 and 98 or something like that. Or no, 1989 and 92. I don't know how they grouped it. But what they have time to read. They are more interested in knowledge. Same as Gen X. They are interested in knowledge. They want to learn. Boomers too. Boomers are our parents set. They they want to read, but the way you write for them, you break things down to the simplest level.
Please, sorry, what's the second name that you after agency? What's the second?
I said millennial. Then
Okay,
after
millennial.
millennial, Gen X. Gen X, there's Gen X. Gen X and millennials are the same, I think. Then there's Gen Y. Gen Y is 1992 to 1998 or thereabout. I'm not sure. I can send that statistics to us, so we can just go through it to understand the different type of demographics. Now, writing for this set of people, there are some. I've seen clients in their job description, they'll write it there that the audience that they're targeting is so so and so, Gen X, they are targeting Gen Y, they are targeting, okay, all of these broad ages, all the ages, that's what they're targeting. Even in social media, on social media, if you are going to run a ad on Facebook will ask you what is the age of the people that you are targeting, because Facebook knows that these people, different age groups have different interests. They have different ways that they relate with content. So that's why I said that is for age. Now, location. The people in Nigeria, the way they react to content is different from people in the US. I there's when we get there, I'll show us. But Nigerians, they don't really. Nigerians are more interested. If anything, I'll bring a Nigerian to come and check something online. Maybe they want to know whether how to make money. They want to know how to open an account. They want to know short code for opening, for sending money from my GT Bank account to UBA. You know, okay, free test skills that I can check online. That is basically what Nigerians are looking for online. They prefer more they prefer to consume social content more and YouTube content rather than blog content. And if they are going to consume blog content, it is a specific kind of blog content that they like. If you are going to create, not that you can't create blog content for Nigerians, but it is important that you also had video there and social media. That is if you want that brand to grow quickly. But if you are just sitting with blog, Nigerians will not, they will not, your blog will not quickly grow. You need to do more. Except you have free things on your blog. That means your lead magnets for your Nigerian audience has to be, you have to have plenty lead magnets. You have to create plenty ebooks for them, free ebooks. You have to create plenty infographics for them. You have to create plenty, free things basically. That is what Nigerians like. But in the US, it is a different kind of thing. US people like to actually find out about things. They want to actually read. They want to see whether what you are talking about, you know it. So location also matters when um creating content. So another thing is interest. Your interest. The interest of the audience. Sorry, excuse me. Give me a minute. My neighbor is knocking on the door. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Um, yeah, so I think I mentioned three things in demographics. I said age, location, and gender. Yes, gender. Um, Gender also matters when creating content. The way you create content for women is different from the way you create content for men. It's way different. Um, There are some blogs or companies that are, should I say, they are mainly, their main target audience are women. Companies like that sells what's the name of this thing now, menstrual pads, or companies that sell um breast pumps, or companies that sells bras that creates panties and all of these things. You know, their target audience are women, and the way you write content for the women audience is different from men. You need to talk from the woman perspective. I've seen job descriptions that they'll tell you only apply if you're a woman. You understand? And then the men too, they are the type of men content. And now there are different type of genders. Genders is not just two again. There's the there's I don't even know how to put it. But when, because we are training everyone to for the foreign market, it is important that you know all of these things. There are the genders, that there's the Z gender, ZER. There's the XC, I think is also XCR. There are people that they don't have gender. They'll tell you that they don't have gender at all. So they tell you don't call them male or female. There's the one that are, you know, there's the ones that are switched. There are the ones that are, they have plenty gender. All of them, they call themselves they. So instead of them you to say he or she, they say they are they. There's the LGBTQ people, and when creating content for all this kind of, most times I try to avoid jobs like that because I don't want to scatter my head. I don't want to start thinking, overthinking things. So I try to avoid jobs like that. So, but if you find yourself that, okay, that is the job you get, you know, you need to understand their demographics as well. So another thing you need to understand is interest. What is the interest of the audience that you are writing for? What is their interest? When they come to your content, or when they search something online, are they more interested in finding um um okay, let me show you an example. Let me show you an example on our blog. Let me show you an example. So on Techdella, I um what I did was for the interest thing. Now, anyone that comes to read, there's a way I set it that anyone that read any content about SEO, once you read a content about SEO, you get this um this, what's the name of this thing now? This pop-up that will tell you that you should claim a free copy of SEO dictionary for dummies. Now, the fact that you came online to read about SEO, it means that you are interested in marketing. It means that the person is interested in SEO, the person is interested in digital marketing. So in that case, I can try to target that person and collect the person's email. So if the person feels this, let me feel it. Okay. The person fills it up and the person clicks download my copy. It will take them to the tab where they'll be able to download the dictionary. Now they download the dictionary finish, but once they download, because they've already given me their email, I can know that they are interested in marketing, and then the type of content I'll be sending to them in their emails will be um marketing kind of content. I can send content about SEO. I can say SEO for beginners. I've sent them dictionary first. The next thing I can send to them is guide. I can send them how to grow um your blog traffic. I can send how to grow website traffic. Basically things that are related to SEO. So because you may be asking, how do you know the interest of your um should I say of your audience? How can you get to know their interest? Because someone that just landed on your page randomly, how do you not know their interest? That is one way. Once you know the page they landed on, you see you can create pop-ups for different pages like that. Pop-up is what you call it pop-up because it popped. So pop-up, that's what they call it. So you can create pop-ups like that for different type of articles. So if I'm writing about blogging too, or you're writing about say relationship, or on your okay, let's use that ice cream content that I wrote for Blue Cat. On that how to start an ice cream business, I can create a pop-up for that content and say download your free how to start an ice cream business guide, or download your free how to start an ice cream business checklist. And once they download it, I know that, oh, this person is interested in ice cream business. And so I start sending them things that are related to ice cream business. I start sending them contents that are related to ice cream business. So I know that in the long run, they may or may not now decide that, okay, it will build their loyalty, to build customer loyalty, and then in the long run it will help me to sell the product of my brand. Then search intent. I think I explained search intent yesterday. People search things for different reasons. They search for I can search how to how to buy ice cream online. Is what I want to know. It is either I'm asking because I'm a business owner and I want to know how customers buy ice cream online, or I want to know um how to buy ice cream online. I'm a customer. Either I'm a customer and I want to order ice cream online. So, those are different search intents. And you need to understand the reason the customer is searching for something. So that's audience understanding. Then intent of content. I've explained this well enough. It can be information, it can be entertainment, it can be education, promotion. Whatever intent of your content, make sure it aligns with the business objectives. Make sure it aligns with the business objectives. Then SEO basics. SEO basics, I've explained that SEO is what helps the website or the content that you've written, is what helps it to be visible on search engine, on Google. Google is a search engine. Then there's Binge, Bing. Binge is also a search engine. And there are other search engines like that. It's not just Google that we have. So um, it is SEO that makes the content you've written to be visible. And so, what are now the basics of SEO? We talk about keyword research. Keyword research is the process of first checking online. Okay, you already know that this is the place I'm in the say mobile app development industry. That is the company you are working for, and then you now want to know the keywords that are relevant to your industry. You have to first do research. What are people searching for? It does not make sense that you create content that people are not searching for. It does not make sense, because the essence of creating content is people are searching for it, and then when they search for it, your blog comes up and then they read it. So if people are not searching for it, then what is not the essence of the content? So that is keyword research. We'll get to that topic as well. I think next week we should reach keyword research. Then content quality. Content quality is very important. If your content is just does not have quality, is not good enough, it just is haphazard, then it will not rank. It will not come up on search engine when the person, and even if it comes up, the person reading it will just be like, what is this, and then just leave. So it will not actually perform the purpose. It will not help the business to achieve their objectives. Then meta tags. Meta tags are, let me show you an example of meta tag. So I clicked on what is SEO. Meta tag is this thing that is here. What is SEO? And then this one that is under. SEO stands for search. I'm sure that we search for things online. Now, meta tags is what will first tell you what the person is. It is the meta tag that will make you decide whether you click on it or not. If I click, I see what is SEO. SEO stands for which helps your page. I can say, okay, this one has more experience on what I want to write about or on what I need. And you can click on this one. This one too, SEO means search engine optimization and is the process of improving a website search engine visibility. This one looks like it knows what I'm saying, but and then I click on it. Then this one as well. This one, so those are meta tags. And there's a way you create them. I'll show us when we get to that point. And it is important because it is one of the first things that your readers will see before they click on your blog, and to show your readers that okay, your content actually is relevant to what they are looking for. Then there's also ranking. I've mentioned ranking earlier. So I told you that each business, the reason a business will hire you as a copywriter is because they want their content to rank. They want it to rank either on this first position or in the first page. Nobody wants to go down to, if you are someone that you are searching for something, except you are a writer, or a marketer, that's when you decide to go to the third page or the 10th page or the 15th page. That is when you go down. But if you are someone that you are just looking for something quick, just want to check, okay, what is the meaning of this thing, you will not have time to go down, 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 down. And what you just do is you just pick maybe one or two or three. And when you click number three, that is it for you. You get your answer and that is it. So there are various things that you will do that would help your content rank. When we get there, we'll talk about it. There's also link building. Link building is, no website exists in isolation. If you want to get your website to rank, or one of the foundations of SEO is link building, and we are going to teach that as well in later classes. But I'm saying all of this so that we can understand. After this class, we mentioned that it is not yet time for you to go and check YouTube. After this class, you can now go and check YouTube to know more, because you already have the basics. So it will be easy for you to understand some of those things. And when you now check YouTube and you read, you can ask us questions in the next class. Oh, you heard about this, you heard this, you heard that. So it will be easy then. So link building is, let me open one article and I'll show you what a link is. So this is SEMrush, and they are writing about SEO. Now say, why is SEO important? This is a link. And this link is not going to SEMrush website. It is going outside to another website. This is Obalo. So you see that it is not SEMrush website. This is called an external link. Any link that is going outside your website is called an external link. Now let's go back to SEMrush. Now, this is another external link. It's not going to SEMrush, it's going to backlinko. It's going to backlinko. Now I'm looking for a link that is this now is going to SEMrush. It's going to SEMrush blog. It's going to SEMrush. So now what is now the essence of link building? Link building is a way for blogs and websites to communicate with each other through search algorithms. The architecture of a website, I don't want to go too technical, but a website architecture is such that there is something they call robot text, It is search engine Google that designs all of these things. So they one way to help your website rank is when you link it to other websites and when you link it to content you have written before. It's kind of like referencing. When you create a content or you create academic content and you reference, it shows that okay, you've read this person's research, and you're bringing the research into your content. So it is telling people that are reading your article or your academic journal or whatever that you've done your research, and your research is based on other people that have authority more than you. It is based on what they have also written. You understand? So it is showing that okay, so that means you know what you are doing. Possibly you have authority in this field. You get? So it is showing that is the same thing what that back link building does. It will tell search engine Google or Bing, it will tell them that okay, your website is not existing in isolation, and even though you are not an expert in the field, you are referring to experts. You are referring to experts, and then you are telling them you when you refer to yourself too, you are also showing that the content you have written before too, it is relevant. It is still relevant. So it is part of the things that would help um Google to put your article, the blog you've written, on top. When we get to link, I don't want to say too much technical things since we are still doing the basics. So when we get there, we'll explain the technical parts of SEO. Um, but now let's just we're already far past time. I want to see if we can do parts of the content. Can we still do this? Should I continue or we should stop here? We started late. Should I continue?
Continue.
Okay, okay.
At least you should try to finish the what you
Yes,
budget for
yes,
the class.
exactly. Okay, so parts of a content. When creating content, there is headline. Let me show you an example of content. So when creating content, there is an headline, there is the introduction, there is the body, there is subheadings, there is conclusion. Now let me show you this one. Now this is my headline. My headline is also my topic. How to monetize a website. 12 website monetization strategies. Now, your headline should not be more than 60 characters. This is how I know. I'm not talking about word now. I'm talking about characters. Now, my own is 61. But I think when I published it, I reduced it to 60. The reason I said it should not be more than 60 is because if we noticed, when I looked at what is SEO, there were some people that, and this example now, you see that the person's article had dot dot dot. It did not show the full topic. It broke down. But this one wrote what is SEO search engine. This one was not more than 60 characters. It can be then it should not be less than 50. When creating an headline, it should not be more than 60 and it should not be less than 50. That is number one, your headline. Now, the headline is the first thing that readers see. It should be attention grabbing, concise, and indicative of the content in your main point. It should show what your article is about. Now, reading this one now, you know that what I want to write about, what you are going to read in this article is how to monetize a website. And you're also going to read 12 website monetization strategies. Now, if you are writing for a news blog or a a lifestyle blog. They may write something like why you need this book now, tips for reading this book, or they write things like uh, Muhammad Gaddafi is dead. Why you think you should mourn? Something like some people use clickbait to let me show you what clickbait is. So clickbait is something um that people create to get you to click their content. Okay, this is an example. How I made $1 million last week from clicking. What happened when I clicked here and asked her on a date? You know, things that uh, would make you something like you never believe. How I started, how I started a $1 million company in 2 weeks. Those are clickbait, but they are headlines, and it works for some people. It works for some blog, um for some industries, for some niches. It works for them. So when creating your headline, make sure you understand the tone and the style of the company you're writing for. There are some people that is clickbait they use to create content. That is how they have been doing it. So if you now come and you now write 12 ways to monetize your website monetization strategies, it may not sell on their blog. They may not even, if because most recruiters, they'll tell you that okay, you are going to write a test article, and then once you write your test, that's part of the recruitment stages. So you write a test article and then you send it, and if they're happy, they'll give you the job. So if once the first thing you do is you first go and check what they've written before. See if how their headlines are styled. If their headline is styled like clickbait headlines, make sure that is how you style your own. But if their headlines are styled like my own, how to monetize the website, 12% monetization strategies, make sure you also stick to that kind of tone. Another thing about headlines is I mentioned keyword in when we're talking about SEO. Keyword. Your headline should also contain your keyword. That is an SEO strategy. Your headline should have keyword. Yeah, the keyword. When we get to SEO, we'll talk about that. I'm just telling you now so that when we get there, you know that you've heard it before. Now, my keyword in this place is website monetization strategies. So if I Google, fine, it may not be on page one. I don't know if it is on page one, but I don't think I've checked either. Website monetization strategies. So if I Google website monetization strategies, is my website showing? Yes, it is showing. It's showing on page two, which is still good. My goal is to show either first in page one or page two. And if I'm showing in page two, it should not be more than position 15, and that is where I am. So website monetization strategies. You see that the topic that I mean the headline that I used, Google changed it for me because it is more than 60. It is more than 60. So if your headline is more than 60, it is possible that Google will shorten it for you and make it short. So now this, when we get to ranking, I will teach us how to move this topic from this position to a higher position. I'll teach us how to do that. Now, let's go back to headline and topics. So, the reason it was ranking is because it included that keyword website monetization strategies. It included it, the headline, I mean. Now, another part of a content is your introduction. Now, the introduction sets the tone and provides a brief overview of what the content is about. And it aims to capture the reader's interest and encourage them to continue reading. Now, let's go back to our example content. Now, normally your introduction should not be more than 150 words. but that is also dependent on the tone and style of writing of the branch that you write for. Some people believe that they should put an introduction that is about 200 words. Some people, their introduction is not more than two paragraphs. Some people, their introduction is just one paragraph. Again, you need to be able to stick to the tone and style of the company you write for. Now, in my introduction, me, I like to ask question. I like to talk like in a conversation method. So when I wrote this out, I say, so you've got this awesome e-commerce website up and running, showcasing your passion and skills to the world. But let's be real for a second. Wouldn't it be amazing if your website could not only be a platform for your creativity, but also a source of income? Some people would say that because of SEO, that that keyword that I am using, website monetization strategies, it should also appear in this first paragraph. And that is normal. But me, I aim that my keyword should appear in either the first paragraph or the second paragraph. First two paragraphs. That is what I aim for. Um, when we get to SEO, we'll talk about it. But mostly, make sure that when you create an introduction, your introduction should make the reader want to go on and read more. You can put a teaser. Some people say when you are writing an introduction, you can start with the statistics. You can start with um in 2023, um website owners made an average website owner made $3 million from their website monetization strategies. How can you do something similar? It is possible for you to make this amount of money on your website, but you need to know top website monetization strategies. You understand? So I can write something like that for my introduction, and then I'll now go to implementing website monetization strategies is a great idea if you already own a blogging business or an e-commerce business website or a digital product website. Basically, all of these things should be part of your introduction, and then you now tell them that, okay, oh, in this blog we'll be looking at top website monetization strategies. Let's get started. So it is conversational. You are talking to them. It's kind of like you are talking in real life. So when the person is reading, let the person read and hear your voice in their head. That is the essence of the introduction. And when you write introduction finish, the next thing is the body of your content. The body of the content. The body of the content can be more than 500 words, depending on the type of content you are writing. If you are writing a long format article, your body can be up to 50,000. It can be 5,000 words. It can be 3,000 words. It can be 2,000 words. If you're writing a short format article, because of SEO expects that if it is a short format, it should not be less than 500 to 800 words. It should not be less than that. So the body of the content contains the main information. It contains your argument, it contains your narrative, and it should be organized in logical sections or paragraphs, each addressing a specific point or subtopic. That is the body of your content. It- all these parts here now is the body of my content. Me answering the question of how to monetize your website, 12 ways to monetize your website. So I have website monetization requirements, I have how to monetize your website, and then I have 12 monetization platforms for website. Basically, things that people that are looking for how to monetize their website, things that they are asking. That is what I've written in this article. That's what I've written in this article. So now, if you notice, there are big parts, there are black parts, and then there are the smaller parts. This part is called a subheading. It's called the subheading. When you are writing, subheadings make it easy to organize your article so that without these subheadings now, the content will just look. Let me show you, for example, and I make everything normal text. You see that it just looks so, it can be boring to read if it is like this. The person will feel like, ah, this is too long. But when I now put headings, it makes it easier. The person can quickly go to the section they want to read, and they can quickly scan through the article and say, okay, this is the part I want to read. I don't want to know 13 monetization requirements. I just want to know how to monetize my website, and then they read it this part instead. You understand? So that is the subheadings part of content. Then subheadings are, there are different type of subheadings. There's H2, there's H3. If you want to know your subheading, you can use this normal text part on Google Docs, and you see H1, H2, H3, H4. There's plenty. There's H5, there's H6 as well. And in a normal for SEO purposes, your headline, your topic should be H1. Now, if you now, the first heading or subheading after your topic should be H2. If under H2, under this one now, I wrote 13 website monetization requirements, and then I now want to write the key requirements. I can either use bullet points. I can decide to use bullet points like this and write the requirements, or I can use H3, which is what I did. I used H3. Now, the reason I used H3 is because for SEO and readability, there's something we call readability. Readability is the index that shows whether your content is readable or not. That when an average reader that has a short attention span comes to your website and reads your blog, will the person be able to read it, or will the person be bored because it looks scattered? Now, readability says that one of the rules of readability is that each headings that you have should not have more than 300 words of content. In my introduction, I have 168 words, and it is under H1. So under my H1, I have 168 words, which is good. Now, if I had left this part in bullet points, it would be a normal paragraph. It won't have an heading. So that means I'll have 508 words under this heading too. Are we understanding? Are we understanding what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah, but the thing is getting deeper, deeper.
Yeah, it's getting deeper. Don't worry, when you practicalize it yourself. Um, Today I'm going to tell us to do one short, besides the one that I said we're collecting on Monday. That one is not really, it is important too, because it's an example, but that one is very short. But there's the main assignment that we're supposed to do today, it is short writing. So we are going to take some of these things that I've explained into consideration. So now, if H2, there's H2, there's H3. You understand that part? There's H4 as well. If I'm writing a content and I wrote high quality content, this is H3. Because this one, if I had left it in bullet points and in normal paragraph, let me use normal paragraph again for everything. And then I now make this one, I make this one heading two. And then this is now in normal paragraph. And I decided that I'm going to use either numbering or bullet points. Now, if I use bullet points for all of this, it will not be readable. It will not be readable because under this session, under this heading session, there is more than 300 words. And so for my SEO strategies, it's considered unreadable. It's be considered totally unreadable. So the best thing I can do is to break it down or make it more easy to read by using heading 3. And so that is why I used heading 3. So if I want to look at the table of contents now, this is the table of contents. But let's leave that one for instance. Let's leave that one for now. So after heading 3, and I've written out all the steps that I want to write here. Once I've written out all the steps that I want to write, I can now go to another heading 2 again, because another heading 2 is a subtopic. How to monetize your website is another subtopic. Now, the same rules apply for the last heading 2, that if it is longer than 300 words, so I should use, instead of, this is another 559 words, instead of using bullet points, I can use headings. So I use heading 3. If under this heading 3, for instance, I have more than 300 words, maybe I wrote it and it is very long and it is not more than 300 words, I will break it down and use heading 4. Do we understand that part? If my heading 4 that is under my heading 3 is also longer than 300 words, I will break it down and use heading 5. And so like that, like that, like that. All of these headings or subheadings make your article more readable. And so when you look at your SEO score, because there's something we call SEO score, it will make your score higher. Now this is an example of what I said now. This is 314 words. I think when I published this, I removed this part. Now, if I'm going to check sorry, I'm supposed to count from here. So it's 331 words under H2. What I'm supposed to do in this instance is I'll turn this one to heading 3, and then I'll bring it down. I won't use words. I won't use bullet number system. I'll use heading system. I'll use heading 3. This is how I'm supposed to do it to make this article readable. It may be one of the reasons that it is in position 15 rather than it is in the second page rather than the first page. That may be one of the reasons. So all of these things affect the way your article is ranked. Now, once you finish writing all of your body, you can now write your conclusion. Once you have, and then when writing the body of your content, make sure you answer the topic. The topic is how to monetize the website. Make sure you explain this to the fullest. Don't write 12 website monetization strategies in your topic, and then when you're not writing it, the person that clicked your article because of 12 website monetization strategies is now looking for the website monetization strategies up and down and did not find it. Or instead of 12, the person now met 3. That is destroying the credibility of your blog. It is showing that maybe you said 12, why is it 3? The person will think that you use clickbait, and that is not good for you. Now, in your conclusion can also be 100 to 150 words. It can be 100 to 150 words. This is my own is 76. It can be, some people just put short conclusion. Now, because I wrote this for Techdella, and Techdella is not selling anything. The only thing we want is we just want people to subscribe on our newsletter. At the end, I can write, you can subscribe to our newsletter for more, something like this. But because I already have a button on the website or a form, I don't need to add this to the article again. So you can just write a summary of everything that you've written so far, and then if you are working for a company like Bluecat, you can now write something like Bluecat is a technology. If you're looking for okay, you can write, it is easier to monetize your website if you have softwares and technologies that can help you. Now, in this case, Bluecat is a technology that helps businesses like yours monetize their website strategies and we are putting a call to action. I mentioned call to action yesterday, that will tell people that, okay, after reading this article, this is what you should do. Now, you can book a demo with Bluecat to check out how to monetize your website strategies or to monetize your website. That is a call to action. So if the person enjoyed reading that article, they can click on book a demo. And once they book a demo, that is you helping look at achieve their um their what's that word now? Their objectives of promoting and selling their software. You understand? So that is one of the part of a content. Then there's also links. If you notice, I added some links to that article. Links are also part of the content. You see, this is an external link. It is not coming to a Techdella article. It is going to Thinkific. Meaning, when someone reads this article, they don't need to go. Maybe I wrote Google AdSense. They don't need to go outside after reading my article and then now start clicking Google AdSense on Google search. They can just click on it here and then they read it. Then they can come back and continue. Media.net. They click on it, they read it. It makes it easy for the reader to navigate. And then because I'm linking to Google AdSense, there's something we call, I don't know if I should say it now, but let me say it. When we get to link building, we'll talk about it better. There's something we call domain authority. There's something we call domain authority. Now, it's just like it's just like the school setting where there's professors, there's a senior lecturer, there's lecturer one, there's lecturer two, there's reader, there's all of these things. When all of these people now they write a academic content, for instance, or they do research and then they want to publish their journal, it will be that journal will have more authenticity and credibility if in their etol and etol something they had the a professor. It will have Their journal will have more authenticity if they had a professor in their people that wrote their content. So that is how backlinking works. That is what domain authority is. Domain authority is the authority that your domain, that's www.techdela.com, the authority that that domain has on search engine. How how do people view it? Did they see that, okay, oh, this domain is an authority in its field? In the tech field, is Techdela an authority? If it is an authority, they will give the domain score. So domain authority can be from 0 to 100. Wikipedia now, it has, I think, 98 domain authority, meaning it is a very big domain. And if I can link to Wikipedia, and it will help my search rankings. And then, but if Wikipedia links to me, if Wikipedia refers to our article, it shows that we are huge, and then it will also help our search rankings. Let me stop there for domain authority, so that it's not scatter in our head. I don't want to say more than that. So that links is also part of a content. Then there's keyword integration. I mentioned keywords, but it is not just in your headline that you're going to add keywords. You also add keyword in the introduction. You add keyword in the body of your content. You add keyword in your subheadings, and you add keyword in your conclusion. When we get to keyword research, we'll talk about that as well. Then there's formatting. It is very important that you format your article. That's what I talked about when I said you put it in headings. Proper formatting is crucial for readability. So if you are using it, when you are writing for blogs, it's not like when you write academic content, when you have like 5 paragraphs, 6 paragraphs inside one. In blog content or writing for digital content, you have to use short paragraphs. You have to use bullet points. You have to use numbered list to break up text and to make the content more digestible. Nobody has the time to be reading content that looks like journals. Nobody has that time. They won't read it. Everybody's looking for something that they can quickly get the points that is there and leave, do what they need to do and leave the blog. So make sure that you format your content right. Then there is tone and style. I mentioned tone and style earlier. Any content you're writing should align with the brand and the company's tone. You should also align with the voice of the company. If the company writes in a conversational way, make sure that that is how you write. If the company writes in a professional way, make sure that that is how you write. If they write in, if they use first person singular when they're writing, they write hi. I would like to show you these tips. I would like to shake con. If that is how they write, make sure that that is how you write. But if they don't use I, they use we. Make sure that you should use we. Then there is editing and proofreading. Your content is not uh, ready until you have edited it. Your content is not ready until you have proofread it. Now, it may not be easy for you to proofread or edit your articles. There are tools like Grammarly. There's Hemingway. Me, I recommend Grammarly because Grammarly is easy to use. So you can use Grammarly, and there's the free account that would allow you to edit your articles. So I think we are done. I've shown you content structuring. I've referred to your content in Google Drive. Okay. Yeah, there is SOP means standard of practice. Most clients and companies they have a standard of practice when creating content. And if they once they employ you, they will share it with you. They will share you their content brief. They'll show you that okay, this is how we create content. We don't use we use Oxford comma, we use AP style of writing, we use B Kinikon style of writing, and they will tell you all of these things in the beginning of your journey with them. Now it is important that whenever you are writing, you adhere to their standard of practice. Finally, I wanted to show us how to use Google Drive optimally. 89% of the clients you work with will use Google Workspace. It's just a few of them that uses Microsoft Drive or Microsoft products. Most people use Google Drive. And the Google products you use most often is Google Drive, you use Google Docs, you use Google Excel, Google Meet, and Google PowerPoint. But for the um, I will teach us how to use all of these things, but maybe not now in the next class. So we have come to the end of this class. Any questions? Any any questions so far?
I thank you so much for the class.
Yes, ma.
Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Yes, I'm with you, ma.
Yes, ma. I asked a question. I already left a message on the message box. I said that
Okay.
if you want to start to do it, is there an app to actually um, create those contents for? Like if we are going to be using our phones,
Mm-hmm.
what app can we actually start using, ma? Start using, ma.
You can use Google Docs. Google Docs is available on the phone. Google Drive is
Okay.
also available on phone. All Google products are available on mobile. You can just go to Play Store and you download it. When I started writing, I started using my phone. I started with my phone. Then my phone was not even at some point the phone fell down, it broke. I started continued. And then when I had enough money, when I saved up enough money, I bought a tab and then I was using my tab. Then after a while I bought my laptop. So, you know, it's in steps, it's in stages. So you can start with your phone. You can start with your phone. It works well with your phone.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
All right. Stop where your question.
Do I even have a question? Okay, you were saying something about domain something.
Domain
I think
authority.
yes, I've heard about it before, even before leaving the school, but it's me conscious. So
Okay.
I wanted to ask that. Okay, you said you're going to teach us about it, Abby.
Yes, I will.
Mhm.
I will. When we get to link building and ranking, keyword research, SEO proper, we are going to look at domain authority, how to check your domain authority, how to increase, because you can increase the domain authority of your brand, how to increase your domain authority. We'll look at all of those things. There are some brands that will tell you that they want to increase their domain authority, that they are currently on, maybe they are currently on 20 or 29, and they want you to help them to increase it to 58. They will give you the target. They will give you when they want it to be done. So it's we'll look at ways to make this happen. We'll look at ways to make it happen when we get there. Okay, so the assignment that I want to give us today is writing our bio. You're going to write your bio, and in your bio you are going to have different sections, subheadings under the name. The headline, you're going to structure it this same way that there are different parts of a content. That is how you're going to structure your bio. It's going to have an headline, it's going to have an introduction, it's going to have subheadings, it's going to have body, and it's also going to have conclusion. It should just be 300 words. It's no longer more than 300 words. So write your bio, and in the subheadings, in your heading, you can write the heading anyhow. You can say, Seyi tí mo fẹ́ òjò, your your like say the astute sales rep, or um and your all-in-one digital experts, something like that. So make sure the headline because the side notes, this bio is going to our website. We're going to publish it, and it will serve as one of the first things you see. It will serve as one of the first things that will be on what's that word now? Let me just show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. So when you search your name online, um besides your LinkedIn and maybe your Facebook, this bio will serve as a thing that when people search your name, they will see. So when people search my name online, they'll see my LinkedIn, then they'll see Remote Hub, they'll see my bio on CNX. I worked with these people for a while. They'll see my Medium, they'll see this also. They should also see my LinkedIn, my profile on Techdella. Yeah, this is the one of my blue cards. So this is what I mean. Let me show you the blue card one. Something like this. This one is short. This one is short. But me, I want something long because we're going to add it to Techdella. So the bio should be like I said, you should have your headline. After your heading, write a short introduction to yourself. Anything that you want to write it. Then there will not be your subheading. Just add one subheading or two subheadings. Write your goals. Then write your objective. Goals and objectives are the same. Then you can write what you should expect from me in coming years or something like that. Just be creative, basically. It is going to the website, like I said earlier, and then there will be a timeline kind of thing. We're going to add it to the website, and then it should be published on by Monday. It should publish by Monday. So please, oh, today is Friday. I keep forgetting that today is Friday. Also submit it on Monday, so I'll publish it on Tuesday. So you should also have a conclusion. Like I said, be creative. If there's going to be any corrections or anything, I can create an example and send it to you so that you know what I'm expecting. I'll create something for myself and I'll send
That's
it.
what
I'll
I'm
send it.
expecting. I wanted to ask that.
I'll create an example. I'll
Is
create an
there
example.
any template or something that we can just use to follow up so that we will not submit rubbish?
So I'll create an example. I'll send it to the group. Now, this bio is also going to go on LinkedIn. It's going to go on social media because we create a want to create a LinkedIn carousel, a LinkedIn post that people will see, and then it will help you. It will be one of the major first major profiles or in your introduction to the digital marketing world. So that's the assignment. So, but next week we're going to go fully into writing your first articles. You're going to write your first articles next week. Stop making it
Wow.
silly. You're going to write your first articles next week. And when you write those articles, it's going to be published on the blog. It will be published on the blog. So
Lord will
that's
help us.
amen. So that is it for today. I
Oh,
think
I have something.
Chinedu wants to say something.
Please do.
Okay.
Sister She, where's my social media? Where's my LinkedIn page? Sister She.
I've done it, sir, but I'm here to send the link. I'll send it now.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
um, on the social media aspect, this is what I want you to do for me. This is what I want you to do for me.